Welcome back, friends, to another live trading video here. I am looking at GBP CHF, and I'm actually watching this. I have not yet entered a trade, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the markup here. We will see if this gives me an opportunity to enter, but let me go ahead and walk you through what I'm seeing here. So I am looking at this thing right now at a 4-hour view. I have taken off my analysis just to show you guys from scratch. Hopefully you like that. If you do, let me know in the comments if that is helpful too, if you want to see it from scratch. But anyways, I've got a couple things in mind here from a technical analysis perspective here. I am watching this thing as it comes and retests this 38.2% retracement area. I'm looking to see if price is able to hold its own here, which actually lines up really nicely. The 38.2 by itself is a cool level, but added in this little support level looks really, really nice for a potential bounce trade and continuation play going with this little higher low concept that we've been seeing on pound Swiss. I do like this trade going into the week, but I'm going to walk through a little bit of what I'm looking for here, and then if I do enter the trade, I will come back and let you guys know in an update. But I'm going to look here on the 1-hour chart as well. If we look a little bit closer, I'm being a little picky with my entry today. I've been sort of a little bit picky because I do have some trades on right now, so I'm only really interested in pound Swiss if I can actually get a nice little dip to the very bottom of this range. I know that is sort of picky. It's just a couple pips away, but just that extra, 4 or 5 pips to the downside, if it does come into play, that will give me enough of a discount here in my view to pick up some long positions here. I like the way price is rejecting the lows of this area, and so for what that means for me is, I'm being picky here. I'm going to be patient enough to wait for that 4, 5 extra pips there to the downside if we do get it. And then from there, my plan is to risk somewhere around 40 pips on the move, which 40 pips, by the way, if I were to enter here, would look around like this. So a little bit of room there on the stop to let this level really play out in case there's a little bit of manipulation of price or anything like that. I would like to try and stay in this trade as best as possible. But again, that is what's on the radar. I'll pause, and once things get going, I'll let you know. All right, and there we are. Got the video rolling again here, and I am long. I waited patiently there. I'm kind of glad that I did. I know this is like much lower time frames, but I was just watching this on sort of the 5-minute chart and glad to have picked up my long position here instead of where I was looking at it, which was more up on that side. I know it's not that big of a difference, but if you notice that you're in this little range, it doesn't hurt in my view to just be patient enough to try and pick up the trade that you really want, not just force your way into a trade. So with that said, I am in the trade long here, and we'll back out to the higher time frames and talk a little bit more about this. So I am long, like I said. I just alerted this to members inside of our Discord here. I'll pop it up on the screen so that you can see what the trade alert looks like. Inside of the Discord, I share all of my trades, good, bad, whatever I am trading myself, I share there inside of Discord with full details, my entry, my stop loss, etc. So like I said, I'm long here on the pound against the Swiss franc, looking for upside here. I like this zone quite a bit here on the 4-hour view, and like I said, I like the fact that, we have pulled back, and on the lower time frames, we had a little retest of the lows there. So I think that if that, does in fact hold as a kick-starting position, which is obviously what I would like to happen, then that could be great. And I could have, my pickiness could have paid off. We'll see if it does, though. It may not matter. And that's why I have a stop loss on my trade here. So with every trade that I share inside of the Discord and trade that I take myself, I keep a stop loss in mind. Now, this stop loss is not randomly placed. It is risking 40 pips here to the downside. And the main idea here is that if price does decide to not hold this area of support like I'm looking for it to do, I would like to stop out of the trade and keep my losses minimal. So in this case, I am risking 40 pips. My lot size is 0.73. So, this is a swing trade. So if things do go my favor, if we do start to see a rally here, the main idea is that I can be wrong, whether this is a winner or loser. I will be filming it and recording it and putting it up on YouTube. So, there is that. I might be wrong. This thing might get hit. But if I am correct, the goal will be to see if we can get a nice winner, and risk to reward rise could be really good. So I want to add one more thing. You may ask, well, Nick, where is your stop loss? Shouldn't you place a stop on, a take profit? You've got a stop loss, but where's the take profit? Well, I don't actually use take profits in majority of my trading, and the reason for that is I do like to trail stops. So what that means to me when I talk about trailing a stop loss is meaning that if price were to go in my favor, for example, what I'd be looking to do is I'd look to trail this stop loss up into profit. And the main idea or objective behind that is that occasionally if I catch a really good trend, let's say I had bought this move right here, right? If I had trailed my stop loss, I could move my stop up again here and then ultimately stop out for a nice profit and give the market room to really become a giant winner if it wants to. So that's the objective here. Like I said, we will see if it just stops me out and I take a loss in this trade, or if we're able to capture some nice winners. So that's the plan. I will keep you guys updated with whatever happens. And with that said, I'll pause the video and come back soon. All right, guys, and we are all out there. Unfortunately, this trade ended up being a loss out there for $322.28 down on the trade. Obviously not what you want to happen, but sometimes this is what happens in trading is you take an entry. Honestly, I'm still glad that I was patient enough to give this a shot here at the lows. I was able to get a decent entry there in terms of, we saw a little bit of a bounce there prior to price rolling over and tagging me out there overnight. A little bit of volatility over the London session, and that's pretty much what tagged us out of the trade. So with that said, I am not too worried about this. I'm just going to move on. I see some other setups as I'm looking at this that I'm going to be recording here for YouTube. So either ways, it's all good. And with that said, we will see you guys back next time. Thanks very much for watching, and hope you enjoyed this video. By the way, I should say also that the reason I post losses is because I think that there is always something that you can learn from a loss. I think that sometimes it's just okay to accept that, you can have a theory and have an idea, and sometimes the markets just don't agree, right? So I thought that we could catch some form of a bounce here at 38.2. Maybe we are headed back down a little bit further, maybe to 61.8. Maybe there's a chance for me to re-enter. The point here is that it's not just, oh, the market is out to get me. It's out to hunt my stops and I can never make money and, stuff like that, which a lot of traders fall into that hole. So I want to point out that, it's one of those things. You can't just, complain and throw your hands up in the air when you take a loss. You have to accept that sometimes you take a setup, everything lines up correctly, and it just doesn't work out, and that's okay. With that said, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button down below, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content like this. If you like the live trading, let me know, and we'll see you back next time.